taking my mind back to 2015. I'm going on a journey way back in time to even 2014 when the campaign seasons were on. And you would remember that was the period when several parties came together and they formed a mega party, because up until that time, the PDP held sway in the political boxing ring, so to say, and they would box down any party at the time who dared to challenge. But the APC came and the APC knocked them, and the APC became the ruling party. And that's how, the president, after trying on several occasions, became a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But he's leaving now. After all the trials to become president, he finally got his dream. Did he keep to the promises he made to Nigeria? Because I did see an article where one of his aides, I think it was Femi Adesina, saying that some of the promises you guys are talking about, Buhari is not aware of them. He's not aware of promises people made on his behalf. He's not aware of promises support groups made on his behalf. If you do a quick Google search, you will see that. So we'll be talking about, his doings, like we like to say in our local parlance, his doings in the last 8 years. Just stay tuned. I am Kala Dakurubatibo, and welcome to the second conversation on Hard Facts here on 92.3 Nigeria Info. So as it has become my custom these days, I went on a research and I wanted to know because when the aides begin to say that the president did not support or did not make those promises, support groups made those promises, I began to think, what promises are they really talking about? And then I realized that the APC has a policy document. So when the party or the parties, the several parties came together, when the party came into existence, it came up with a policy document. Now, for the sake of the time that we have, I cannot read all of that, all of the promises on that document and or all of the things that they promised to do. However, I think I can read I think I can't find it all of a sudden, so just give me a minute. I think I can read the first part of that document. All right, so just give me a minute now. I'm opening the file. So it says, our vision for a new Nigeria. When this democratic dispensation commenced in 1999, of course, it was talking about the PDP and how it ruled. But, it says the federal government that emerged did not tell Nigerians what its vision was for the country, because the party that formed the government had none. And without a vision, that party at the center has led Nigeria from one crisis to another, lurching deeper into political anarchy, economic decline, and some disillusionment. A decade and a half later, nothing has changed. The ruling party has neither concrete plans for the security and the advancement of Nigerians, nor the wherewithal to do so, even if it had one. Suffice to say that it had thrived on the maxim, promise nothing, do nothing. The consequence of trusting power to a party that does not have the genuine interest of Nigeria and Nigerians are clearly manifest in our political and economic predicament today. Tens of thousands of innocent Nigerians have been killed due to government neglect of security, poverty, and unemployment, and have multiplied due to the perverse economic policies. Corruption has taken to new levels, while health, education, and job opportunities are all in free falls. The question on the lips of most Nigerians is there a federal government in Nigeria? Yes, there is a federal government in Nigeria, a government that thrives on chaos, corruption, impunity, injustice, and the systematic exploitation of ethnicity, religious sentiments, and other primal instincts to divide and rule Nigeria. It is no wonder that at no time since the period of the Civil War have ethnic and regional sentiments been as raw as they currently are. Nigeria can and must do better. Since the historic merger that resulted in the birth of the All Progressives Congress APC in July 2013, our intention has been to develop a set of guiding principles based on the needs of all Nigerians on how to collectively chart our future as a people and our destiny as a nation. I am pleased to present this manifesto and invite you to share our perspective on how we can come together to free our country from the grip of the ruling party that clearly has no agenda for Nigeria beyond prolonging its lawless rule by all means. In the past, political manifestos in Nigeria were hardly different from mere platitudes and general statements to which parties could not be held accountable. The APC manifesto is different. We have clearly stated what we will deliver to Nigeria when elected into office. Our focus is on 6 priority areas: national security, good governance, human capital development. Once again, national security, 1, good governance, 2, human capital development, 3, relief, recovery, reform, and I think a new Nigeria. And a new Nigeria. Okay, so that's what it is. So the summary of the manifesto is national security. Where is it again? National security, good governance, human capital development, relief, recovery, reform, and a new Nigeria. That's how I understand that part. But I'm not going to dwell on the APC manifesto because that is not what the president promised, right? So what did the president promise? Even though on May 29, 2015, President Buhari wrote a letter to Nigerians, you and I. And the way this article captions it, it calls it a covenant. Buhari makes covenant with Nigerians, promises better life. So I'm just going to read quickly what the president said or wrote. He said, "Dear compatriots, in the past few months that I have traveled around this country on campaigns, I have experienced the sheer beauty of our diversity. From Port Harcourt to Kanu, from Abeokuta to Gusau, I experienced firsthand the daily sufferings and struggles of our people. I also experienced the overwhelming desire of our people for change. When I arrived in Port Harcourt on the 5th of January to start my campaigns, I was met by our teeming supporters who stayed till late in the evening to welcome us. Among them were many young men and women who, in the few minutes that I shared with them at the airport, made me to reflect on what kind of future awaits them in our country. The gestures of 90-year-old Ajia Fadimatu Mai Tale Tara from Kebbi State and 9-year-old Nicole Eniyi Benson from Lagos State, who donated their life savings to my campaign, reflect the overwhelming desire of our people for change. In their gestures, I perceived a longing for the days when honor, national pride, and dignity of labor were the fundamental social principles that governed our country. As I encountered millions of our youths who sometimes run for hours in front of my car and hanging precariously on our campaign vehicles at our state rallies, I also pondered the enormity of the task ahead. How do we give jobs to our youths? How do we reform our economy and make it work for every Nigerian? I know, however, that what we require to revamp our economy and rebuild our country is our ability to galvanize all our citizens to believe once again in their government. I need to underline that part. To believe once again in their government. Do you believe in your government? That's the first question. Okay, moving on. In their country. Do you believe in your country or you want to jackpot? Second question, and especially to believe in themselves. This can only happen if we are able to rebuild the trust and belief that our people used to have in government and indeed in our nation. The leadership that I will provide will be built on the critical awareness I intend to lead with integrity and honor, and commit myself totally to everything that is of concern to our people: security, employment, health, education, good governance, and others. This covenant is to outline my agenda for Nigeria and to provide a bird's eye view of how we intend to bring about the change that our country needs and deserves. This covenant is derived from the manifesto of my party, the All Progressives Congress. It either represents my pledge to you all when I become your president. I have no doubt that, God being on our side, with the abiding support of all Nigerians, we shall all witness the great change that we desire and achieve the Nigeria of our dream. Okay, so this was written when again? 16th March 2015. That I made a mistake. It wasn't 29th May. 16th March 2015. When I come back from the break, I'll read one more article, and I'll open the phone lines. Just stay tuned.
On your number one talk station,
you get a daily dose of news trends.
Crisis averted in aviation sector after aggrieved unions suspend strike.
Intense conversation.
She's among the ICPC board members. What has she experienced in life? 20 years old girl. She is there because she has level.
Sports and news to keep you updated all day and every day.
Join the conversation on your number one talk station,
Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
Are you tired of paying rent? Would you like to own a house of your own? Stress no further, because with just 5 million naira, you can become a proud owner of a 2-bedroom apartment and 4-bedroom smart terrace duplexes in a serene environment within GRA. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. With just 5 million naira down payment, you can say bye-bye to house rent issues. Why not start today by investing in any of our off-plan project and spread the balance within a year and 6 months? Wow! So what are you waiting for? Activate your access to luxury living by dialing 0913-888-8892 or 0706
All right, it's the bottom of the hour. You are still listening to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kalada Kurubatibo. I prefer to be called Kalada. And we're talking about the president's promises, President Buhari's promises, and what he actually did in the last 8 years. And after reading that covenant, as it is called, you should also understand that it references the APC manifesto. So when arguments are being made by people like Femi Adesina and Garaba Shehu that the president did not say that, to maybe they want to have a rethink. Maybe they would want to have a rethink. But as you must already know, or may already know, the president and his aides have been saying that the government has fulfilled all its promises. To be fair to the outgoing government, they have reiterated 3 policies: the fight against insecurity, the fight against corruption, and how to boost and take our economy to the next level. And so I'm going to leave it open to you. Let's leave it. Let's forget the other ones. I don't know if I don't know if you will be magnanimous enough to, let's forget the APC manifesto. It's a continuum. Wherever the president has stopped, it is believed that since Bola Ahmed Tinubu is of the APC, he will continue pending when we hear a final judgment as to what really transpired during the elections. So we want to believe that there will be some kind of continuation. And like the woman leader of the APC mentioned, that the incoming president or the incoming government will start from where the outgoing government did not do really well, from the low points of the outgoing government. So hopefully we will not be looking at the APC manifesto just for now. But looking at the promises the president has made, because in truth I can't find any document as to the president's manifesto. I can't find any, but I can only find statements like the covenant that I've read out, and the one that we all know, which is economy, security, and corruption. How well do you think this government has fared? The president was speaking the other time and he said, when it comes to corruption, I've done my best. I've caught as many corrupt politicians and people, and I've given it to the courts. I've given it to the judiciary. So you should hold the judiciary responsible if you feel that these people have not been brought to book. My job is to take them to court, and it's the court's responsibility to ensure that they find them guilty or not. Interesting. But even though I'm not a legal practitioner, I can argue that the government prosecutor would have to prove his case and prove it beyond reasonable doubt. Economy. This government has argued on several occasions that the infrastructure that it has set up, that it has built, is so as to facilitate economic growth. But it's also, has put some kind of debt burden. We've borrowed a lot of money as well, right? And you would hear stuff like, we borrowed so that we can help our economy grow. Recently, the president reiterated, and that's not the first time he was saying that he has promised, or he has kept his promise when it comes to security, because he has tackled the Boko Haram menace. When he came in, Boko Haram were everywhere, but he has been able to reduce it to the barest minimum. If you want to look at the economy yet again, the president has argued that he has been unfortunate because in his time as president, the global economy has crashed a couple of times. He said in his time, oil did not boom as it did in previous governments. And on several occasions, he has said that if previous administrations were able to utilize the resources before them, his government would have been able to do more. And what he has done is lay a great foundation, a wonderful foundation for the next administrations to come, the next generations of governments to come. And when you also talk about corruption, he says he have bestowed to Nigeria a free, fair, and credible electoral system. His daughter was speaking a couple of days and she said, see, my husband is a silent, my father, I beg your pardon, my father is a silent achiever. But anyways, I'm done talking. It's time for you to join the conversation. What do you think? We talked about it a couple of days. It was part of our big headlines where the president said, I closed the borders and Nigerians appreciated it later. So he said all of those were for economic growth, economic prosperity of Nigeria. But hey, so we're going to do it like this. I'm going to ask you to score. Score, it's going to be over 10. Yeah, so you're going to score. Is it 5 over 10? Is it 10 over 10? Is it 7 over 10? What are you rating? Because we are looking. This is what he has promised. He said he's going to improve security, he's going to reduce corruption, and he's going to boost the economy. Has he been able to achieve all of that? But if you want to extend it to the APC manifesto, has he been able to achieve all of that as well? Right? So let's hear from you. 0817 923 0002. That's the first number to call in with. The second number is 0817 923 0003. For WhatsApp and text messages, use this number 0809 030 6416. On Facebook, we're live, Nigerian Info PH. On Twitter as well, Nigeria Info PH, and on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH. I've got Daniel who is calling from Imogate. I'm going to listen to Daniel and I'm going to hear what he has to say. All right, Daniel, good evening to you.
Good afternoon, my brother Kalada.
All right, Daniel, welcome.
Yes. If I must have to score my outgoing president, I have to start from number 1. And you have to help me. I am for nobody, I am for everybody.
Okay.
Call him yourself.
Okay.
Yes, that is 0, not even 1%.
Did he fail that promise? Did he fail to keep that promise?
That is why I say you yourself, if not that because of our, what is it called, that ministers or junior ministers must come from all the states. All the ministers would have come from the north.
Okay.
In terms of, I am one of those that supported him, thinking he is going to fight insecurity to a standstill as a former general. At that aspect, he helped me to score him 1 over 10.
Okay.
You have given us where to score him.
Okay.
Then, in terms of economy, what do we see? 1 over 10. In terms of borrowing,
borrowing is part of economy.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Daniel from Imogate. That's you scored him 3 over 10. I've got Caleb calling from Owerri. All right, Caleb. Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, welcome. So let's talk. What's your take on this?
All right, thank you. Yeah, it is only a failure that praises him or herself.
That's not what. That's not. No, Caleb. We've got rules. Caleb, can you hear me? We've got rules. Now we stick to what we're talking about. We focus on what the conversation. So we're not saying whether we should score the government for scoring or praising itself or praising itself. We're talking about you and I. How do we see the promises made in 2015, and how do we see the reality that we have now? That's what I'm asking.
Okay. Personally, I will score him on education 1 over 10.
1 over 10.
In terms of economy, he did not try.
Okay.
He made dollar at a very low rate, but now inflation is nothing to write home about. The naira is losing value. People died. People lost their life, precious lives, something that you cannot get anymore. So no matter what you do, as far as there's no life, there is no hope. Are you talking about security? or in terms of appointment, lopsided, tribalism. Honestly speaking, as far as I'm concerned, this government is 1/10. They did not try in any way.
Are you sure it's the government's fault that the dollar, rose against the naira? Are you sure? I mean, the government argues.
You know the Niger bridge.
Okay, yeah, I'm listening.
At the tail end of that bridge, they cut it and bypassed instead of going where the thing stopped with green design. Make investigation on this thing. I said now.
All right then.
As we get to the tail end of first Niger bridge, second Niger bridge, they didn't finish it. They cut it somewhere.
Okay. All right then. All right. Thank you very much for your time. Okay. He's saying he's scoring the president that low, but how are you scoring the outgoing president? Did they keep to their words, the promises they made? And I'm looking at 3 key sectors because for me that's one thing that the president has been recurrent about. He's always been saying, I'm going to tackle corruption. As a matter of fact, I thought corruption was going to be extinguished from our society because of the way the president will iterate on that. He talked about the economy, boosting the economy, and he also talked about ensuring that insecurity becomes a thing of the past. And you hear the government, I've kept to the promise, I've tackled Boko Haram, I've ended the insecurity that was caused by Boko Haram. And for weeks now, like the last caller said, the government has been praising itself. From Femi Adesina to Garba Shehu, one of them did say we would miss him, like we missed Jonathan. Remember, when you do call in, you will first of all get to meet my colleague who will ask Manoski Gibson. Very light about everything he promised Nigerians. In fact, I can never wish my enemy. Okay, thank you very much. Obiora Okafor, not actually a total failure, but he lacks good leadership qualities. Okay, if you say so. In we Silas DK or DK, I hope I pronounced your name well, said I've tried this. I think he has tried his possible best, but government is about continuity. All right. And this one is from UKJ Ubamadu. So we should not listen to all their campaign promises after all, because they tell us something else while a different thing exists in their manifesto. I've got Justice now calling from Artillery. I'm going to listen to Justice. Justice.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening. Welcome. Let's talk.
Sir, so this present administration, I'm just calling all the simple education, insecurity, everything. I'm just calling them 1/10.
1/10. All right.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're saying 1/10. That's what you're scoring them.
Yes.
Why would you score them 1/10?
Yes, they promised all of them, but they did not at least try. The only thing they know how to do is borrow, make troubles. They did not do anything at all. They said with their mouths.
They did not do anything at all. Are you sure about that? Are you sure?
I'm very sure.
Okay. All right.
Because some of the things we actually is okay. Let me just say on social media, there are some certain things you see. They will tell you, it's not true. They did not do this one. I don't mean what they did, or I mean some things on social media. So some of the things they will say they have done it. Maybe they haven't do anything about it.
All
they
right,
are just
right.
making it up. So
All right.
I don't really believe
okay.
in all those things.
All right.
So
Thank you very much, Justice. Thank you very much, Justice. All right.
I'm scoring them 1/10.
All right. Thank you very much. Elomba is calling from Woji.
I agree to my brother. Good afternoon.
Elomba, good evening to you. Welcome. Let's talk.
Yeah, good evening. See, what I want to say is this. You see, this is the Buhari government. He show before they are going. The speed these people collect power from PDP, and the blackmail they take from, and how people resisted them that time.
Was it Elumba? Was it blackmail? Were there no issues at the time? Was it blackmail? Really? Was it really blackmail?
There were issues at that time. The question now is this: that time and now, which one better? Buhari have not performed in any sector.
Are you saying in any sector? Really? Really?
There's no sector you have performed. If there's any sector, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that this sector. In fact, let me put it this way.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? So what about the railway?
Yes.
What about the railway? What about the construction of roads? What about the building of the second Niger bridge? What about No, you said I should list. I want to list them out for you.
I'm coming now. Let me answer you.
Okay, answer me.
Second Niger bridge. Jonathan do flag off second Niger bridge. Pay half of the money. Okay. That is for that one. Railway.
Okay.
Railway. Jonathan had built that railway, one of the railway finished before he left.
Okay.
They talk about roads. Go and see from Eleme Junction to Obibo. When he reach 5-minute drive, it's a good road for him. But how long have he taken?
Is government not a continuum? When you say good luck started, there are other things that Obasanjo started that have not been completed. There are things that people even before Obasanjo started East West Road is an example.
I agree with you, but let me tell you something.
I'm listening.
If you complete what another person started, that's a good one. To abandon it is not the best one. I agree with you. But what I want to tell you is that this Buhari government is full of lies. Talk about the economy now. About the economy.
Let's hear economy.
When Buhari come to power, dollar was around 190, 180. What is dollar today? We have already changed dollar. Almost 1,000 naira.
Elumba, during good luck's time that you're referencing, did you have oil selling at the rate it is selling now? Did you have Did you have global recession? Did you have global recession?
But all you don't fall here and come up again.
You're not still answering my question. Did you have global recession? Germany is facing recession. UK just escaped recession. America is facing recession. So do you know the world is in a global state economically that is not very buoyant?
The physics we are having global. Other people are doing something good for themselves.
Okay. All right then. All right. Okay.
What I'm saying, I'm not finished on. Even talk about insecurity. He's talking about, I think the big 200 people in 2 days the other day. So which area did perform? He just come and destroy.
What happened there now? Sorry about that. Go back in. I've got Tony calling from Man. Tony, good evening to you.
Yes. Also the in national security. In the skill one thing I saw him do. But Boko Haram state crashes and it now banditry and essence.
Okay, so, can I ask you a question? When last did you see Boko Haram operate the way they used to? Back then with train bombs doing the. When last did you get like that?
They are not operating as much as they are operating. Okay, but we have X-Men and banditry in replacement. Okay, we are still having issues of people dying, bombing, go to remote communities and fire on communities.
Okay.
And when it comes to people and land, when it comes to when we are talking about the aspect of infrastructure development, okay, in infrastructure, it's still one thing. I think it did it well, but even it's very, very well. At least the level of advancement comes to infrastructure development.
Okay.
And I think it tried. But when it comes to human capital index or human capital development, not because a machine could be trained, and if you're talking about if you're talking about growth, you cannot talk about development. You are not developing the land. So people are not developing,
right.
but the land is developed. So the machine responding. So I mean this. It is not what we need, not what they should do more human development. Instead of to continue to do traditional technology, we are going to depend on diminishing.
What's happening to the phone lines? I apologize and talk issues there. But I've got Emmanuel standing by and calling from Alu. Emmanuel, Ooh, sorry about that as well. Lost connection there. But a lot of people are saying, "Oh, but really, let's take this." I mean, just here for the arguments matter. Let's look at it, right? When we talk economy, we've had several global recessions, and currently looking like we might be entering another one. And I do agree. If we have our refineries working, for instance, if we had our other industries, I'm talking about the steel factory, if we had the rubber industry working, maybe it would have not been affected as currently by global inflation, global recession, and all of that. But hey, we'll take one more call from good evening to you.
Yeah, Caleb.
Yeah, good, welcome on the show. Let's talk.
Yeah, comment 0.5
of 10.
Yes, because when the president he distanced himself from citizens, no decorum, no interface. In fact, really, the professors at the universities could not find him again. Look at it again. He brought hunger on the people. When people are hungry, what do you expect them to do? In addition, turn hunger on everything.
So
you can't bridges the roads.
All right.
Citizens, the first thing the government did to make sure the city well. Didn't develop anything. Even there are some MDAs like Nigeria Port Authority, because and the other areas that make dollars in this country. The money they're borrowing,
all right, then.
They take the money and utilize that thing.
All right,
they tell you they are borrowing. The money NPA is making as a foreign currency is more than what they are borrowing.
I thank you, Matt. We've got to let go. We've got a commercial break coming up in a few seconds. But you would like to want to check cable newspaper or the cable line publication and see how they describe Buhari's promises. Now, commercial break up.
Life is in your hands, and that's why